get to the money. Gotta get to the money. Early morning, so you know that I'm on it. So you know that I'm on it. Gotta make sure that my family straight. Gotta make sure that the kids and me. Gotta make sure that the bills is paid. And then let's get to the money. Get to the money. Early morning, so you know that I'm on it. And gotta make sure that my family straight. Gotta make sure that the kids and they. Gotta make sure that the bills is paid. And then let's get to the money. Get to the money.
Welcome to another episode of Drinking After Dark, a podcast where we discuss random topics while having a few drinks. I'm your host, Darius, and as always, drink responsibly. And you make sure you follow Drinking After Dark podcast on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. And y'all could go subscribe to my YouTube channel right now. Before we get started, I want to give a special shout out to my sponsor, Joe Shekinab and Shekinab.com. Visit Shekinab.com for services, monthly updates, and content information. Once again, visit Shekinab.com, promoting leadership and scholarship. Tonight, it's going to be a great show tonight. There's some things I'm going to talk about. Y'all know I'm a sports guy, so I'm going to start off with sports. Excuse me. Congratulations to all the teams who made the playoffs. Congratulations to the Green Bay Packers and the Tennessee Titans for having the number one seeds in their respective conferences. I'm a Steelers fan, so like my others, all my Steelers fans is out there. I was holding my breath watching that Raiders and Chargers game, but I'm glad the Raiders went for the field goal, didn't let the time run out. They beat the Chargers. We're in. Even if the Chargers beat the Raiders, we were going to be in. Because the only way we weren't going to be in if it was a tie, if those two teams had a tie. So I was happy enough that we got into the playoffs, even though we got to play Kansas City. We had a okay year. But we still made the playoffs, and I'm still happy about that. But shout out to all the teams that's out there, doing their thing. I know there's some surprises out there. I know New England was a surprise this year. Miami was a surprise this year. Well, I'm not gonna say a surprise this year because they did their thing last year, and they did their thing again this year. Unfortunately, they fired their coach, was a huge shock. And I think that it was a terrible decision by their organization. You could tell how successful an organization is when it starts from the top, work its way down. And we could tell the Miami Dolphins is not a successful football organization. I know all the Cowboys fans, they're happy. They're in the playoffs. They played great this year. Who else played great this year? Cincinnati. Got to give a huge shout out to the Cincinnati Bengals. Nobody picked them to win a division. Of course, they're in the same division as my Pittsburgh Steelers and Baltimore Ravens and the Cleveland Browns. But they won the division, and you got to give them props. Nobody talked about them all season long, so I'm going to give my shout out to the Cincinnati Bengals, and they deserve the division. They deserve their spot in the playoffs, and I won't be surprised if they win a game or even two. So y'all don't be surprised when some of your teams, you think that's gonna go all the way, don't go all the way. That's the beauty about football. Any given Sunday, you never know what's gonna happen, and you're gonna see it. Is Tampa Bay gonna make it back to the Super Bowl? Who knows? Are we gonna get that matchup of Brady and not Brady, but Aaron Rodgers and Mahomes in the Super Bowl? Who knows? Who's gonna come out the NFC? Who's gonna come out the AFC? This is the season where there's no clear favorite. And that's what I like about this season. There's no clear favorite. You're just going to have to sit back and enjoy the show. And we all know when the Super Bowl gets here, it doesn't matter who's playing. Y'all going to host Super Bowl parties. Y'all going to eat, real good and stuff like that. Be sleepy afterwards. So, I'm excited about this postseason. I'm really excited about the postseason, and I'm really looking forward to who's going to come out on top. I'm looking for some of the upsets. That's the beauty about playoff football. You don't know who's gonna make it and who's not. Certain teams have higher expectations than others. So let's see how all of this is gonna play out. And I'm really looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to it, and this is my favorite time of the year when it comes to football. Because we have this postseason, and of course, when it comes to the NBA, they're starting to go into the second half of their season. So I'm really looking forward to it. This is that time of the year I love so much, and I just can't wait for more. What else? What else? We gotta talk about this since we're talking about football. I mentioned earlier how the Dolphins fired their head coach, Flores, Coach Flores. And to me, it's a stupid and I don't understand when it comes to minority coaches. It's like they're on a shorter leash, right? And you have this owner of the Dolphins who was talking about culture, but yet when is the last time this team has won anything? That's the problem that I have. You have, for those who don't know, I think the Dolphins was the last team to go undefeated and win it all, right? The Patriots, back when they had Randy Moss and they had that squad, they were undefeated until they ran into the Giants in the Super Bowl and they lost. So that Miami team was the last team to win a Super Bowl and basically go undefeated that entire season. But since then, that team has not really accomplished much. And with all the great players that have came through that franchise, still nothing. And you have an owner, which you really can't tell an owner anything. When you're talking to owners, especially like billionaires and things like that, they have this ego. They have this ego where I got the money, you can't tell me anything, not realizing that they could be the problem. Even though you own the team, don't mean you know it all. That's why you gotta look at Robert Kraft in New England. Robert Kraft don't know really too much about football, but he trusted football people in football positions to do what's right, and it has worked for him. It has worked for him. I mean, if you're gonna pay people to do a job, let them do their job. Unless you want to be the general manager, you want to be the head coach, you want to be the scout, then don't hire anybody. You do it all yourself. But the fact that you fired this coach, you see the culture there, you see how the players respecting him. He finished the season 9-8. Okay, finished the season 9-8, but they started off 1-7. He won 8 of the last 9. 8 of the last 9 fired. All because of a certain player. Don't get me wrong. I think Tua is talented. But when you look at the other quarterbacks in his class, when a head coach is telling the owner who is not there every day, by the way, telling them, listen, we can't win with this guy. You have to start listening to these coaches because they are there every day. every day they're there, so they know what's going on in practices. They know what's going on during the film sessions. Maybe Tua is not fit for that system, but once again, you can never beat the owner because they're owners. And I'm gonna tell you right now, he's gonna get another job because there's been every year you always gonna get these cycle of coaches that's gonna get fired and things like that. I'm pretty sure within the next week or two, he's gonna have another head coaching job because there's no way with a guy who has basically taken the team and trending upwards. They see that like that's the only issue. Man, come on, coach our team. And not only that, he might go to a team that has better players. Let's just be honest. He might go to a team that has better players, and he might have better success there. So, if he goes on to another team and wins the Super Bowl, the city of Miami is going to hate that owner because you let that guy go. That could have been our Super Bowl, but you let him go somewhere else and win a Super Bowl. So I hope Brian Flores get that chance. I know he's going to get it. There's positions that's opening right now, but I hope he just doesn't take any team. I think he should take a team that not only can they win, but have a potential of winning it all. So when you're a first-time head coach, you just want to take that job for experience. Bill Belichick did the same thing. A lot of people don't remember he was the head coach of the Cleveland Browns before they stopped existing, before they came back to the NFL. He took that New England job, and his first experience, it was like, he had to get his feet wet to understand how that pro game worked as a head coach, because he was always a coordinator, but not a head coach. So when he got that experience, he understood like, oh, I gotta change my approach when it comes to being a head coach. And once he did that, he went to New England. You saw what he pretty much created. So, Brian Flores, man, just keep your head up. You're going to get a great job. Excuse me. You're going to get a great job. And, and just pick the team that, you think could go all the way. I think you have earned that right. And I think owners and GMs have seen your progress. And they're probably like, this guy, let this guy go. That man down there in Miami, let this guy go. For what? Nah. Come over here. We'll give you control. Come over here. We already seen what you did down there. Come over here. So just keep your head up, man. Big things are coming. I can't wait to see it. Can't wait to see it. I'm already excited about next football season. I'm really excited about, this NBA, this playoffs that's going to start in the springtime. I'm already looking forward ahead to it. It's going to be amazing. Like I said, this is the best time of the year when it comes to sports. So I'm really looking forward to it, man. And I'm going to be right there in front of the TV. Speaking of sports, before I move on, y'all don't know, but I actually won my fantasy league. My first time playing fantasy. Even though I watch a lot of sports, I never really truly got into the whole fantasy league thing. But I did it this year. I got first place. It was 8 of us in the league. And the top 2 guys, we were basically the last 2 spots when the season started. And when we finished 1 and 2. So it's not about where you start, it's about how you finish. And Shout out to my boy for getting me involved in the fantasy league because I was like, all right, it's something different. I've been invited to play, but I was like, I don't really have time for it. Stuff like that. But I did it this time, and I look forward to doing it again. So, if y'all haven't played fantasy football or whatever sport it is, fantasy, whatever, you should try it one time, man. You should try it one time, and I think you'll enjoy it. It could be a little addictive too. It's competitive. I'll tell you that right now. It's very competitive, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. So I'm definitely going. I think about doing it again. Hopefully we have more people. Hopefully, but if not, no, it was cool. It was cool. Uh, let's go ahead and move on. What else? What else have I seen today? Um, oh, I forgot to tell y'all. Y'all know this is Drinking After Dark podcast, and y'all know when I'm drinking on my usual drink, Crown Vanilla mixed with Dr Pepper cream soda. So I'm living. I'm really. It got me relaxed right now. And if Crown Royal is actually listening to this podcast, man, y'all should advertise on this podcast because I really love y'all drinks and things like that. Of course, I started off with the regular Crown. Then I moved up to the Crown Apple when that came out. It was good. I had to have the Crown Apple, and when I finally got put on with the Crown Vanilla, that I was like, oh, I gotta drink this. So this is what I'm drinking on tonight. So if y'all haven't tried it, y'all go try it. I know they got some other flavors as well. So whatever you drink on tonight, man, just drink it responsibly. But again, I'm on that Crown Vanilla mixed with Dr Pepper cream soda. If you don't want Dr Pepper cream soda, go ahead and mix it with root beer, or just go on the internet and look at some combinations that you could put together. Um, there were some things that I've seen. It's funny. Like I've seen a lot of funny things, and when you're drinking, sometimes when you're drinking, you look at videos or you start realizing stuff that you didn't think it was funny at first, but you laugh at it now that it's really funny. I seen a video earlier today. I don't know what it is about church. I don't understand it. I don't really get it. But they take secular music, which what they call it, and try to flip that and turn it to a gospel song. I don't know how many times I have shaken my head and laughed so hard at this stuff. Whether it's rap, R&B, they'll take that same beat, the same rhythm, cadence, and just switching and put gospel words in it. Like nobody's gonna recognize what song that came from. We gotta stop doing that. Whatever happened to originality? I would rather have you play your original gospel song than to take something like that and put it inside of a church. Cause I'm a type of person that will laugh at you. I would get kicked out the church for laughing. And you can't get upset with me because you brought that crap into the church. I mean, I'm laughing my ass off because you're doing that. And I'm like, no, this person did not, is not doing this in church. And here's another thing, too. If you in church and you know you can't sing, please do not sing a solo. Because I'm going to tell you shit. I'm going to laugh. Now, I know you ain't supposed to laugh at nobody when they, doing stuff like that. But somebody got to start being real with these people. Because I'm telling you right now, I will laugh. You knew good and hell well you cannot sing. Who told you to get on that mic? And I'm not talking about a person who has a okay voice, who could, carry a note, pretty decent. You know, they're not good, but they're not bad. You see what I'm saying? I'm talking about you just terrible. You knew your ass don't need to be on that microphone singing. And somebody got to start being. And it's kind of funny how people inside the church saying that they want to be honest, they're not that honest. Because you ain't going to tell that person they can't sing. Now, that doesn't mean you can't sing in a choir. You could sing in a choir. Your voice could blend in with the other voices perfectly. It just when it gets to the solo part, you shouldn't be singing no solos. So just be there. You can sing with the choir, sway side to side, feel the Holy Ghost Spirit, and leave it at that. And that's that. Excuse me. But please, please don't do that. Because I get tired of seeing this stuff on YouTube or on social media, video of you or whoever singing and it goes viral. People are laughing and all of that. It's just funny to me. Actually, if y'all go to my TikTok, Drinking After Dark podcast, there's a video of a group of men singing. And it was a song by Kirk Franklin and Rance Allen called Something About the Name of Jesus. And at the end, usually Rance Allen would hit that one note, that high note. So a guy in the video, they were singing it in the church, and this guy actually hit that note, and I swear everybody in the church started laughing. And the way he did it, I mean, I'm smiling right now trying to tell you guys this. The way he did it, he just like I'm going for it. He didn't think nothing of it. And the guy right beside him, as soon as he hit that note, he basically stopped and he just started laughing and stuff like that. But he didn't care. He didn't care. It's one of those moments where people are going to talk about, I think he knew what he was doing, right? It was just funny. It was funny to me. That's an exception to the rule. But you can't sing. Don't be on that mic trying to be Mariah Carey or somebody like that. Beyonce or somebody. You don't do it. Please don't do it. Because that's funny. I will laugh. I would definitely laugh. And if they tell me, calm it down, no. Y'all should have been honest. That's y'all fault. Don't blame me for what God gave me, that was the ability to laugh. So y'all should have just been honest with that person and let them know, don't do it. Definitely don't do it. I can't even stop thinking about it now. It's stuck in my head at this point. I got a drink in my hand, and I got that video going back into my mind. It is too funny. It is way too funny right now. I don't know what to say about it. I have no clue whatsoever. Before we continue further on in the episode, just want to let everybody know to, again, follow Drinking After Dark podcast on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and please subscribe to Drinking After Dark podcast YouTube channel. And if you want to advertise on Drinking After Dark, please hit me up on Facebook. You can hit me up on Instagram. You can send a DM to Drinking After Dark podcast, and I could go over the details with you. So, whether you're an artist, whether you're barber or beautician, whether you have your own business, it could be real estate business, it could be tax business, it could be photography, whatever it is that you do, restaurant, if you have your own food truck, it doesn't matter. If you want to advertise on Drinking After Dark podcast, just send a DM to Facebook or Instagram, and we could discuss details through there. So, just a quick announcement for all those who really trying to branch out and brand themselves and really really taking your company seriously. So once again, y'all can hit me up through Facebook, Instagram, or we'll just go over details. Oh man, I don't know what you guys been up to. Uh, I hope you guys checked out the last episode. That was a really great episode. All the episodes, um, including this one, is now available. So y'all could go back and check out all these episodes and on Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and I do have the last episode up on the YouTube page. I'm debating now whether I should upload all the previous episodes to the YouTube. Um, so if people want to find it or somebody wants to share it, it'll be a lot easier for them. If that's the easiest way to let people know that they were on the podcast. I'll probably do it that way. But you know, y'all could go back and listen to it and continue to support. Let's continue to grow Drinking After Dark podcast because we're going far and beyond in 2022. So let's make it happen. Um, and again, shoot, I'm really feeling this drink right now. I just lost what I was about to say. I'm feeling this drink right now. It is delicious, definitely delicious. I hope all you guys had a great New Year. By the way, I hope you guys had a great New Year. Hope you guys were safe and everything. I know COVID is still going around. Um, so whether you're vaccinated or unvaccinated, just stay safe, and stuff like that. I know they got this combination of the flu and corona. What is it called? Fluronia that's going around now. I don't understand it. It's either the flu or it's corona. How can it be both? I don't understand science. So if they put it out there, I'm kind of questioning it. Like it's either one or the other. But if they say that's what the combination is, then I just have to go with their word on it. But y'all be safe, especially during this time of the year. You know, it's still flu season, by the way. It's still the flu season, so don't get it confused. The flu can still go around, even though they want to make it seem like it's just Corona going around. The flu is still going around. So if y'all sick, just stay at home. If you gotta take a day or two to recover, just do that. Just do that, because now you got these companies out here who trying to keep their employees healthy. They want them to make sure that they're working so they can make their money, stuff like that. So yeah, I know you need your money too. So please just do everything you can to stay healthy during this year. Uh, what else, man? Oh man, I gotta tell y'all this. We had some snow in my hometown. We had some snow last week. Last week on Thursday, we had some snow, and it was kind of funny though, because I remember I dropped my wife off from work. I dropped her off at work. She had to be at work at 9:50, so I dropped her off 5 minutes prior, and then I pretty much went next door to to Walmart to get something to eat. Because I figured we're gonna be in the house for about no more than 2 days. So I go in there about you know 5 minutes after I drop my wife off, and check this out. It was a little flourish, but nothing was sticking at all. Right, everything was still clear. I go into Walmart for 45 minutes, and I swear to you not, snow was everywhere. The streets were slick, cars were covered in snow. I was like, this is crazy. It was my off day anyway, but still crazy. And I remember after I got into the car, I was like, you know what? I'm going back to get my wife from work because I'm pretty sure they're gonna close. I'm not driving back home then to come back to go get her in this weathering these conditions. So I decided to go up there, and nobody was really in the store. First and foremost, and the streets were already icy. They were slick, so nobody should have been driving anyway. So I'm sitting there waiting on my wife to get off, and they end up sending them home and stuff. So we're driving, and where I live at, well, basically in the city, there's a lot of hills and stuff like that. But I'm driving, I'm taking the back ways to be safe to get away from all the cars. So I'm driving, we're good. And I remember I slowly made a left. I slowly made a left. I'm driving, and all of a sudden, I start sliding off the street. And I'm thinking, in my mind, the way we're going down this little small little hill. It was just tiny, but I remember we were sliding off. I was trying to stay on, but I'm like, all right, we going. So I just turned my tires and was like, we're going down this little hill. And we did, but I'm thinking we're going to tilt over. And luckily we didn't. I'm thinking we're going to hit this tree. We didn't hit the tree. But I remember I was stuck there for about 10, maybe 15 minutes until a couple of guys came through, pushed us out, and made it home safely. Basically, when the conditions are that bad, I think not only the people, but I also think companies need to understand that if it's not safe, that amount of money that you're trying to make is not worth it. Send people home. You know it's bad outside, send them home. Let them be safe because you want them to make it home safely. And if you're a company out there and your primary concern is money and not the well-being of your employees, then you have to reevaluate your company. In my opinion, health and safety of your employees should be the number one priority of any company that's in existence. And if it's not, then it's just bad business. And don't think your employees ain't gonna talk about it, and don't think people ain't gonna hear about it. So when you don't have people that's not gonna want to work for you, and you don't have enough employees, now your production is slow because you don't value the employees working for you. Then I'm sorry, you're not gonna recover from that because now you have built a bad reputation for yourself. Luckily, I work for a company who truly cares for their employees. I would definitely say that. Definitely care about the employees and things like that. And, I would tell anybody, whoever looking for a job within the company, yeah, you might want to take a look into that. Even if I'm not there for a very long time, I'll be like, yes, that is a good company to go work for. Trust me, I know from experience. That is a great company to go work for. So, that's I think companies, if they have the best interests of their employees, I think they the ones that's always going to keep the employees around because they showing that we truly care about you, care about your safety, we care about your health. So take your time, do what you got to do. I like that. I like that very much. But yeah, we were driving. Man, I was scared. I ain't think. First off, I didn't know how I was gonna get out. Everybody, it was so funny though. They were driving past and they were looking at me, and just kept going. Like, okay, I see what's up. Luckily, a couple of guys and some jeeps came by and pushed us out. There was no damage done to my car, so I was happy about that too. But it wasn't it wasn't a steep hill. It was just like kind of like in front of somebody's house. That little dip right there. Luckily, the snow covered, the rocks and things like that because it could have been a lot worse. At first I avoided the ditch. That was the thing about it. My first thought was, let me avoid this ditch, and then we could go from there. And once I avoided it, we were good, and we made it home and we chilled and everything like that. It was just a great. We got home safely. We went outside later on and played in the snow. It was covered. Then pretty much the next day, snow was kind of gone. That's just how it was. Snow was gone. So, but yeah, definitely, definitely, it was a moment I never. And as many times I drove in this weather, I never slid. That was a crazy thing. I never slid. But it's first time for everything. And I know next time, if I know it's gonna snow, I'm like, I ain't going nowhere. And usually we are prepared for that. But sometimes you got companies like, we're gonna open anyway. We don't really care. We trying to make $1, so whatever. Some companies are all about money because they know they could sacrifice employees and basically get another employee. They know they can do that. That's how they operate. You know, Pretty much everybody's replaceable the way they see it. It's not gonna stop them. But if y'all going through like those type of weather conditions, man, just think twice. Just stay at home. Safety is first. And they got an issue with that, and you got an issue with, then you already know where you stand with that company. So I think that's why a lot of people have started going to these smaller companies now. Start working for these smaller companies. I think that's where the trend is going. But anyway, man, this is a great night. This is a great night. I could talk all night long, but I'm gonna go ahead and finish my drink and everything like that. So I hope you guys have a great night. I know this episode's coming to an end. Um, Once again, follow Drinking After Dark podcast on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and y'all make sure y'all subscribe to Drinking After Dark podcast YouTube channel. And y'all uh make sure y'all catch new episodes every Friday on Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. And for those who want to advertise on Drinking After Dark podcast, please send a DM through Facebook or Instagram. Then I could go over the details with you. Once again, this is Darius from Drinking After Dark. Y'all continue to show love, support. Tell your friends and family about the podcast. Until next time, I'm out.
Gotta get to the money. Gotta get to the money. Early morning, so you know that I'm on it. Gotta make sure that my family straight. Gotta make sure that the kids and me. Gotta make sure that the bills is paid. And then let's get to the money. Get to the money. Early morning, so you know that I'm on it. And gotta make sure that my family straight. Gotta make sure that the kids and they. Gotta make sure that the bills is paid. And then let's get to the money. Get to the money.